What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not close. If you think I'm a little bit jacked up today, you would be correct. I've made it back to the friendly confines I always like when you take off and you land, but it's a big day. It's Friday. We got a big weekend of sports in front of us, but quickly, before we look forward, we must look back. Yesterday at the brand, not our best day, admittedly so. And I think Johnny B said it best on Twitter. I think everybody's getting sick of baseball, but we got to grind and we got to stay with it. 2-1 on Early Edge and 5, so that was a solid. So many things going on at the brand. Let's go ahead and bring in the stars of the show. And for all of you who don't know, we've got this Fantasy Football Today Draft-a-thon that so many of us are participating in. Wednesday, August 31st, you click on that QR code, and there are so many different ways that you can not only contribute to the greatest charity in the world, but also you can learn a little bit, participate in the world of sports betting, and maybe get an early edge. See what I did there? Now, look at the stars I've got. Now, Alex, I got to say, one of the things on this particular draft-a-thon, well, two things, is you can co-own a team with me and manage it. And that's going for nearly $400 right now. Now, people can get a 10-minute call with you, and that's going for well, let's not talk about the price right now. I want to talk about why people don't understand how valuable this is. Tell the people.
Coach, good morning, by the way. Martin, great to see you. Yeah, this is a very valuable phone call. I will assist you in helping you with your fantasy league, compiling a strategy, helping you with your roster construct, giving you a bunch of valuable information that I am not freely sharing. So if you want some insight into how I approach fantasy football and help you hopefully win a league, I will do just that in this phone call.
I can't even imagine the price tag I would put on a 10-minute phone call with you. If people use it correctly, don't get on and say, hey, do you like the bear behind you? No! Get down to business.
Coach, there's rumors coming out of Las Vegas that price is purposely being suppressed, and there's going to be a lot of late action jacking and driving that price up. So
it's going straight up.
Yeah.
Now, for everybody who does go there, you may see one other thing as we bring in the guru, Martin W. Green. And you can get a pre-draft phone call with our man Buckets. And no, it's not a mistype or it's not a misprint. Martin, why would people want a 10-minute pre-fantasy football draft phone call with our man Buckets?
I have absolutely no idea, Coach. I think he's been getting desperate. He's been calling me saying, Guru, I don't think anyone's going to pay for it. Can you pay? Can you give me throw me $10? So, I'll think about it, Buckets. All
right. Well, there's a bunch of things there. Go there. And it literally is the best charity in the world. These kids, they need us. And we got to constantly be doing it every single year. They're always getting sick. And we got to help them. So let's do it here with the Fantasy Football Today draft. All right, boys, let's get into the show today. We got storylines that do affect the betting lines for sure. And Alex, I'm coming right back to you because yesterday, breaking news, Deshaun Watson suspended 11 games, fined $5 million. That means nothing to him, but it's 11 games that on the field in football, in the sports betting space, that will be affected. You're up.
Yeah, huge news out of Cleveland, Coach. You mentioned Deshaun Watson going to miss the first 11 games of the season after the Players Association negotiated a suspension for the star quarterback. Accordingly, odds makers are already lowering the expectations for Cleveland just hours after the final punishment was announced. Caesars projects the Browns are now far from locks to even post a winning record while dropping them outside the top 15 Super Bowl favorites. Here's a look at how the Browns Caesar odds have changed since Watson's 11-game suspension became official and was announced yesterday. They were projected originally at 9.5 wins. After yesterday, that's gone down to 8.5. Their Super Bowl odds were 25-1. They are now 35-1. AFC title odds were 13-1 before. 18-1 after, and the AFC North title odds 3-1 before are now 4-1. So obviously massive impact on the Browns futures. And this even trickles down, Coach, to their season-long player prop market, which is something I obviously invest a lot of time and energy into. So yeah, massive implications for Cleveland.
You see how we say educate and entertain all the time? You can't keep up with all this stuff. That's why you need to be a SportsLine member. Alex has articles there every single day. So you always know where the props are going, where the prices are going, all that kind of stuff. But these things matter. They absolutely matter. Alex, thank you very much. Now, Guru, in the chat, John said, yeah, not sure I'd want football advice from a football expert talking about the phone call with Buckets. All kidding aside, why would you not want to know about advice for the World Cup, the biggest event in the entire universe? This call is also very, very valuable. Don't think small. Think big. So, Guru, there's also somebody in the chat that said, I could listen to Martin Green talk to me all day. So, I would like to, I don't know, ad-lib a little bit. How about maybe a little action for today, perhaps? Because the leagues are back up and going. Can you give me a little something right here, right now?
I certainly can, Coach. I can. There's not a great deal of games taking place today. Friday's not always the busiest game in the soccer schedule, but I've dug a little deep and I found one in the Bundesliga, which I find quite interesting. So I've got Borussia Mönchengladbach are the -195 favourites to beat Hertha Berlin today. That makes sense as they've made a strong start to the season under new manager Daniel Fark. They beat Hoffenheim 3-1 in their opener, and then they drew 2-2 with Schalke at last weekend. Meanwhile, Hertha Berlin have made a difficult start to the season. They lost 3-1 to Union Berlin, followed by a 1-1 draw at home to Eintracht Frankfurt. So it's easy to see why Gladbach are the favourites to win this one. If you throw in over 2.5 goals, you can get the odds up to -105, which looks appealing to me. That's a much better way to get value out of this game. Another option would be to go for Gladbach to win and both teams to score. Both teams to score is -160. That makes sense too, because it has paid off in Gladbach's last 8 games and in Hertha Berlin's last 5 games. So if you put them two together for a same game parlay, you get +180, which is a much longer set of odds. You could go for a small little stake on that, but I'm basically getting that it should be a Gladbach win with a reasonable amount of goals in this game. Not going too hard on it, but there aren't too many games I like today. So that was the option that seemed the most appealing. I've got a couple more for the weekend that I like, which I will break down with you a bit later.
And did you notice what the Guru said? You don't have to bet every single game. We do this every day. There's games every day. If you don't like them, just stay off of them just a little bit. Capper Taylor said, I love those picks, Guru. So as long as Capper Taylor says it, there you go. All right, now we got to get into our entire board for the day. But before we do that, you know we've grown so big. We got to pay those pesky little bills. So here's a word from one of our incredible partners. And we are back. It is time for our board for the day. And yes, we need a bounce back Friday. That's what we do here at the Early Edge. We don't back up. We look you directly in the eye. So where do we start? I say we go right back to the well. SportsLine itself. All my cappers, all my analysts, everything for one low price, $10 a month. And today, our numbers tell us that the Tigers +155, or excuse me, 115, and I lose my notes. There we go, +118. Get it right, Coach. Over the Angels. Angels have just kind of mailed it in. Our numbers say that they will win 55% of the time, plus they're playing at home. We love the Tigers in this spot. Right now, baseball, who knows? Flip a coin. No, we don't. No, we don't. So, Martin, I'm coming right back to you because it's been a very, very long summer. And without you and Buckets in our daily lives, it just hasn't been the same because we love you so much. So I'm going to let you start the official board today in addition to your bonus pick. You, sir, are up first.
Thank you very much, Coach. Yeah, it was an interesting summer with lots of MLS and lots of random picks from across the world, but the big European soccer leagues are back up and running. And we have seen some very exciting games take place already. As an Arsenal fan, I'm pretty happy with the way they've been performing. Produced a scintillating performance to beat Leicester 4-2 last weekend. That followed a 2-0 victory over Crystal Palace. So 2 wins out of 2, which is looking great for the Gunners. They're up against Bournemouth this weekend. Bournemouth have just been promoted to the Premier League after they finished second in the Championship last season. However, they have not spent much money this summer, and they're the favourites to be relegated straight back down to the Championship. They did well to beat Aston Villa in their first game. They came back down to earth with a bump last weekend. They lost 4-0 to Man City, so that could have dented their confidence a bit. That really laid the blueprint for Arsenal to beat Bournemouth this weekend. I don't think they're going to win by the same sort of margin. It's not going to be quite so heavy, but I think they could win this one by 2 clear goals, having done so against Leicester and Crystal Palace. So I've given Arsenal a minus 1.25 Asian handicap at odds of minus 105. If you want to be a bit more cautious, you could just go Arsenal minus 1. If you want an even larger potential profit, you could go for Arsenal minus 1.5. Giving you the options there, but I'm really hoping that Arsenal can win that one by 2 clear goals. My second pick brings one from Serie A and one from Ligue 1 together for a 2-team parlay. I got Napoli. They look very impressive when beating Verona 5-2 in their opening game of the new season. They're up against newly promoted Monza now, and they really should win that one easily. That tees up a nice 2-team parlay with PSG. They have a 100% record so far under new manager Christophe Gaultier. They're heading on the road now to face Lille. Reasonably tough game, but it's Gaultier's former team, and he's going to be determined to win this one. So I'm thinking that the likes of Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar should fire them to victory. They're 2 pretty heavy favourites, but if you put them together for a 2-team parlay, get minus 104, probably even get plus 100 if you really shop around for your odds. So, yeah, liking both of those plays for the weekend.
I am really glad that you did that parlay because we have a lot of new viewers, Martin. We've got a lot of people that are finding the brand. People are talking about us, and I want them to understand how we do things over here. And when you have a really big number, this is a great way to bring that number down and place something in your wheelhouse, putting 2 strong teams together. Martin, well done. Now, it's time to cash with the coach. And you guys know I was off for like a week. We had, a little bit of time, and I felt like I was a little bit off. But I'm back, and I'm laser focused. It starts right here, right now. I got 2 round 2 plays today. Remember, you got to get them in because they start in the next hour or 2. You got to watch live. Sam Burns over Tony Finau. You guys know I've been really big on Tony Finau the last month or so. We've been cashing ticket after ticket. However, yesterday, it kind of came to an abrupt halt. He shot a +5, +6. I just think he's tired. I think the last several weeks have really gotten to him, and I think maybe he's just hitting that wall that every golfer hits. Sam Burns, he's motivated. -2 yesterday. He hasn't had the same success the last couple of months that Tony Finau has had. I like Burns today, -105. Then, Patrick Cantlay over Xander Schauffele. Cantlay, he starts to get going. He's like a little engine that could. As you get a little bit farther into the playoffs, he gets better. He gets better. He gets better. Yesterday, his round went exactly like that. Started slow, got better, got better. I think today he starts hot, and I love this matchup at +105, plus money with Patrick Cantlay, who, by the way, we forget, is the reigning, defending, undisputed FedEx Cup champion. Now, Alex, I know that I stirred a little hornet's nest in you this morning. I know that I got under your skin a little bit, teasing you about the price of your phone call. And the only reason I do that is because I know you're going to come out like a rabid dog. So, you are in the maestro spot today, and I know you do not take it lightly. So, Alex, I'm going to back up. The floor is yours.
I appreciate that, Coach. We are going with a different kind of prop today. I am taking Blake Snell, Padres pitcher, to record a win. Not the Padres to get a win. Blake Snell, the pitcher, to record a win. You can find this at -120 odds on DraftKings in the player prop section. Snell has been lights out recently. He's won 5 of his last 7 starts. After starting the season 0-5, he's only allowed more than a single earned run over that span of 7 games. He's facing a Nationals lineup that has been pretty much terrible since gutting their roster at the trade deadline, getting rid of Juan Soto, as we know. The Nationals also struggle versus opposing southpaws. They have the 5th lowest OPS versus opposing left-handed pitchers this season. Paolo Esposito will be taking the mound for the Nationals. He is 0-5 this year. He's got a 4.2 ERA. He has an ERA over 6 earned runs, however, over his last 8 starts dating back to July 1st. This is a great spot for Snell and the Padres to pick up a win. That's why I love Blake Snell today, to record a win, -120 odds.
It's an absolutely perfect spot. When you throw in the fact that they can't win on a Yu Darvish night against the Nationals, what? They better be fired up today. Guess who else is fired up, gentlemen? James in the chat says, wife called mid-show. ... Pain. James, here's a little tip for you, my man. We do this every single day. This is our jobs. We have to be here. We love being here. But all of us that have better halves, we take that phone call. You figure it out because you want your world to be nice 7 days a week. Trust and believe. Pick up the phone. Hit pause. We'll still be here. Guess who else is also here? Grab your paper. Grab your pencils. Here is the recap. Oh, look at it today. I like it a lot. It looks absolute. I haven't said this in a while. Glorious. So, Martin W. Green's own little two-team parlay. Napoli, PSG. Then we're going to go Arsenal, Asian handicap. Then my two plays, Burns over Finau, Cantley over Xander, Alex, Blake Snell to record a win. And then from SportsLine itself, we're going to go Tigers on the money line plus 118. Jeweler, show your face.
What's up, Coach?
Now, I will tell you this, that I loved being in the studio in Nashville, but the one thing I did not love is not being able to see you on the show. We'll figure that out. But it's so good to see you again, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing swell, and I'm going to be doing even more swell whenever the Jewelers Gym cashes today. We're going to do a round 2 3-ball and take Rory McIlroy over Scotty Scheffler and Xander Schauffele. Rory had the best round of the day yesterday if you ignore that triple bogey he had on the 15th hole, which was admittedly ugly as sin, but that he has a tendency to do that occasionally. Hopefully that's his bad shot of the week. I think we're past peak Scotty Scheffler in golf at this point. I mean, yesterday he's gained all of his strokes on the green while losing shot in approach. And we know Scheffler's a phenomenal ball striker. That's a major red flag. So we're doing what we like to do, Coach, which is eliminate one guy in the 3-ball and take the plus money and hope that he comes through over Schauffele.
It's a perfect way. It's an absolutely perfect way to do it when you want to bring the number down. And what the jeweler just told you is why you can't just look at a score on the scorecard. McIlroy played brilliantly yesterday. He made one mistake. That was it. Or he would have shot a 6-under, not a 3-under. That's how much you got to do the research. Jeweler, thank you very much. Now, in the chat, Luis says, I just saw I won a spot in the Early Edge Fantasy League. Seriously, peeps, check out the auctions. Lots of cool ones still open. Luis, welcome to the Fantasy League. We're doing so many different things. I can't even tell you. And when I can tell you, you guys are going to be blown away by what we have in store for each and every one of you at home. So participate, be a part of what we are doing. Stephen Lee also says, why doesn't Coach brag about his record anymore? Because I cooled off. Why would I brag about cooling off? We don't run from anything. Don't write that in there like you're trying to get one over on us. We don't run from anything, Steven. You know that. We went on a heater, cooled off, still hitting winners occasionally. But it happens to everybody. Don't try to get one over on me. You can't do that. You know I run the show. Come on. I'm fired up today. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire crew, love them all. PropStarz, the guru, Martin W. Green, the jeweler, always on the ones and the twos. I am the coach. Tell all your friends. You want to find a brand this year? You're kind of looking around and saying, who do I go? Who do I want to follow? Who do I want to tail? Who's going to be a good time? There's only one brand you even need to worry about. The Early Edge. Good luck.